Unfortunately, all across the world, there are many people that deal with a serious case of overwork. And let's face it, one of the biggest things that sort of face people in Japan is this state of being overworked. These people that are just worked to death because their companies desire that from their workers. So it's no shock that we see a lot of stories that kind of centered around this concept. I think technically just last year we watched another season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid that features a main character that is most of the time being overworked. But I think what kind of comes from highlighting this stuff is not only just to show that it exists, but to really get into this idea of how to heal from said thing. And I think that's what Miss Sachiko and the little baby ghost is going for in this season of Spring 2022 anime season. This is my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of the series, so let's jump into it. Miss Sachiko and the little baby ghost, or better translation is Miss Sachiko wants to be healed by a ghost lolly, essentially follows Fushihara, who is a Sachiko. A Sachiko is basically somebody who is overworked with their company. They do anything their company asks, and it kind of leads to them being overused, overworked. Anytime there's a problem, anytime the boss wants them to do something, they do it. They just, all of their life kind of centers around doing what their boss bids. So when we open up, Fushihara is working a late night, past 2 a.m., and at some point she hears a voice in the room. She's in there alone, but she hears this voice saying to leave. And she's trying to figure out, wait, I can't yet. My boss wants me to do this. I gotta finish this thing. But then it comes again. It keeps saying leave, leave, leave. And eventually she's like, you know what? Look, who is this? And she starts looking around the room, and this voice starts saying, no, don't come here, don't come here. Until eventually she looks around one of the printers and she finds a little baby ghost. And she realized really quickly that it's a ghost, and that's really adorable. That's really, really cute. But yes, this ghost is trying to get Fushihara to leave. Like, if you stay here, you're gonna die. Like, you are not doing well. You're fatigued, you're tired, and you're overworking yourself. Please leave. She doesn't want to see this girl die here. And you'll find out later on as we get into some other stories that this ghost, over time, steals things from the office. She sees them as offerings. So it'll leave this kind of supply closet, go out and grab people's foods off their desks because they're offerings to her. And she always likes Fushihara because she always leaves the good stuff. She always leaves the nicest offerings to her. And so she doesn't want Fushihara to die. She really does like Fushihara. And so yes, she's trying to push her to say, leave, leave. And since she won't leave, she'll just kind of do things for her. Oh, she needs coffee. She's cold. I'll go get some tea for her. She brings the tea. Oh, she's cold. I'll get a blanket for her. Oh, here, I'll make a place for her to lay down and sleep. Anything she can do to help Fushihara not, unfortunately, pass away from overworking. And it gets into like the second episode where the ghost offers to go home with her. Like, if you like me so much, you think I'm so adorable and everything, I'll go home with you. And then, yeah, Fushihara's like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll just work from home. If you'll come with me, sure, let's go. It really is kind of centering around Fushihara, her work ethic, how much she overworks herself, how often she stays late into night to do these projects, and then this ghost trying to just comfort her, keep her warm, keep her safe, and yes, try to get her to sleep and go home because she doesn't want to see anything happen to Fushihara. And it seems like late into the second episode, they start to introduce another side character who is kind of experiencing these ghost-like happenings where she's working and this same ghost is bringing her things without her knowing. And the OP kind of indicates that there's going to be a lot of these little baby ghosts. One looks like an Inari, one looks like an Oni. I guess they're going to get into different types of spirits to just throw into the mix to mix things up. So my thoughts so far on Miss Shachiku. This series is technically our healing show of the season. If you are just looking for a show to just relax and experience something really cute, this is a show for you. If you're looking for anything besides that, unfortunately, I would say don't bother, because that's really what this show's doing, and it's doing it exceptionally well. I think this is something that a lot of people, including people watching this, and I feel for you if this is the case. A lot of people deal with being overworked. This is something that I dealt with before I quit my current job and I started doing YouTube full time. Is I was dealing with a job where I was working literally 24/7 for weeks straight, just trying to do projects and get caught up on things and undoing mistakes of other people. All these things that I had to do to keep the current project floating. My past job, we were basically transitioning softwares, and it caused a massive amount of problems. And so I was working 24/7. I was staring at a screen the whole time. It's draining. It's life draining. It I kind of described it several times to people that it felt like you were physically dying. You felt yourself dying. It wasn't that you had an indication. It's just that you felt your entire life zapping away from you. And so it's very relatable to see Fushihara in the state that she is. She's pushing herself, and she knows that this has to be done, and she doesn't want to let people down. And so she's pushing herself, and to have this brief moment, and this is another thing that I can relate to. During my time, the later time of this whole process, we were working remote because of the whole issues that were happening worldwide. And my escape was my dog. I had Yuki at my side, and so every now and then, Yuki almost felt like it's almost like she knew that I was stressing out, like I was reaching a peak, and she would come up to me and I would pet her, and it was like this moment of like, oh, you're here with me. Like she's there, like I can feel something in my master and I have to help him. And it was almost like I was a stress relief because she was there to kind of distract my mind for a brief moment. And I have that feeling with Fushihara and this ghost. She kind of comes there and says, hey, you need to leave. You need to stop this. Something's wrong. Like, she senses something's wrong, just like my dog did. Senses something's wrong. I'm not saying this little cute girl is a dog. It's kind of going for the whole thing. It's just the mascot character, the partner that just wants you to be better. They want you to not be in a bad state. And I kind of feel like this with this. It feels like she's always there to say, you know, if patting my head's fine, do it. Like, just pat my head. Okay, if me beating on your lap helps you, let me do that. If you're warm for me being here, let me do that. If you need something, tell me, I'll go get it for you. It's just about being there. She can't stop Fushihara. Fushihara is always going to do her work. Yes, let's go home together. As long as you bring a computer, you can do it from home. Let's just get away from this. And that's really what it's going for. It almost feels like it's kind of going, and I'm probably overthinking this a lot, but this is something that's it's almost like a serious thing, and it's trying to take it in a healing Iyashike method. Let's be honest with that. It's addressing a serious problem with a sense of healing. It's giving kind of a relatability with an out. Like, yes, I know how you feel. Yes, we've all kind of dealt with this. A lot of people deal with this. But don't forget, every now and then, take a breather. And it's kind of going for that. Because again, she can't stop Fushihara. So instead, she's just giving her an option every now and then. Just relax your mind for a minute. Look away for a second. Take a breather. Let's walk away for a minute. And it's really kind of the thing that Fushihara needs. Now, granted, it goes into the realm of, it doesn't want to get too heavy on it. So it often cases, it just turns into Fushihara going, oh my gosh, I love this thing so much. Now I can work more. So it's kind of it throws in the joke every now and then that healing nature just makes her want to work more. And it's kind of a bad thing, but at the same time, that's the joke. That's the joke it's kind of going for, to really relieve that stress every now and then. And I think it does it well. This is what it's going for. It's doing it perfectly. Like I said, don't look for, oh my gosh, we're going to find out that this ghost is actually this relative of this grandmaster, and it's all about this demon lord that's going to show up and Fushihara's going to fight him. No, it's Fushihara overworking herself and somebody trying to give her some sort of reprieve, some sort of relaxation, something to pull her away. It's very much a healing show, and I think for that, it does really well. This is literally the Helpful Fox Senko-san Season 2. If you've watched the Helpful Fox Senko-san, this is literally just like it. And that was kind of going for the same idea. With that one, it was more about the guy coming home from work, and Senko was there, this cute fox that wanted to do anything to help relieve his stress. It feels that same way. It's that idea of that build-upness, that dark place somebody's in, and then they find this one thing that gives them joy and gives them healing, and it makes everybody in the entire world wish they could have the same thing. It's almost a negative effect. We all wish that when we were being overworked, that suddenly out of nowhere, a cute little lolly jumps up and says, just pat my head and be happy. And you're like, oh, yes, okay, I'm much happier. Thank you so much. I can go back to work. But yeah, if you're looking for a healing show this season, look no further than Miss Shachiku. It's got that adorable nature. The ghost is super cute, and I can't wait to see the other characters pop up in the show. But again, if you're looking for anything more than that, you're not going to find it here. This is strictly adorable healing, and that's what you're getting, and if that's what you're looking for, look no further. But that's my thoughts on Miss Shachiku and the little baby ghost. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of the series. If you're going to be checking out, are you overworked and you're looking for something to heal you a little bit? Let me know. As always, if you have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my coverage of the new anime. I do first impressions on every show, as well as doing reviews, news, topics, top lists, all that good stuff. Also, if you want to support us additionally, we have a Patreon and a tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.